Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris. This is my channel, I Am Toys. Thank you once again for tuning in. So this is actually, I've been doing a lot of horror figure reviews over the last few weeks, and this was the first, I guess, kind of mainstream fig that I've picked up in a while. It's taken a while for it to come out. Wouldn't it be great if we actually got these figures right around when the movie came out? That'd be awesome, huh? But anyway, this is the Hot Toys Captain America. This is the one from Infinity War. This figure is of much hate or love, depending on who you talk to, I guess. But anyway, we'll just try to get through this pretty quick, and we'll show you the accessories and all that good stuff. Make sure you hit the 4K option on your browser before we move forward. That way we don't forget. I've had people, believe it or not, who don't realize the video's in 4K. And why would you? I do put it in the label, but some people miss it, and some people's browsers, especially for YouTube, and when you have the site up, it may automatically select 1080p or 720, on your phone. It all depends. Sometimes you're limited to 1080. Depending on your bandwidth or your megabyte download, uploads, all that good stuff. But overall, I am pleased with this figure. But there's definitely a few things I could nitpick at. But I plan on keeping them. So if I plan on keeping them, that means I must really like it. But I have been downsizing my collection though. I'm sure those of you have seen as well. So I'm starting to really key in on some stuff that I want to keep, and then things that I'm kind of willing to let go. This one I will definitely keep. I think it's a good figure overall, but it's not a perfect 10. I don't even know if I'd give it a 9.5, but we'll get into that. So let's get a little bit closer, spin them around, and talk some shit. All right, so getting right into it and looking at the sculpt, I've heard some critiques about the lips, and I don't know how anybody critiques lips with a guy who has a beard, but if the lips are off for you, you've got some skill that I don't. I have no idea how you gauge lips with a guy with a goatee, really. I mean, that's some rock star shit right there, but some people are able to do it. As far as what I can see, man, the biggest thing that kind of jumps out to me, believe it or not, as far as the sculpt, it's the nose. I don't think the face is spot on. I think there is some issues with likeness a little bit, and for me, I think it's the nose. I think it's a little bit too full. Around the nostril areas, it's just he's got more of straight lines as far as some of those features, like around the nostril area of his nose. Not the point per se, but where the nose kind of fans out to the nostrils and then reaches the cheeks. You'll see it more too as I kind of pan the figure around. We'll do that 360 rotation, and you'll kind of see what I mean. But I think the nose is just a little bit too full, and for me, I think that's the biggest thing, believe it or not. Not the lips or anything else. I think it's the nose. That's pretty much what jumps out to me. The suit itself, I think, is pretty good. It looks like what he wore in the film. I mean, that's the point, right? The star itself, I think, was they used a different material this time around. As you can see, in the old suit, back here you had that, and the newer suit, we have this. And the one on the movie in the film, it was almost like a little darker. It was kind of black, almost black per se. Might be wrong, but I just felt darker. The material looked a little bit different, so I think Hot Toys kind of dropped the ball a little bit there. I don't think this is as accurate as it should be. I also don't like, in the film, you actually, you can see these little tears. So there's one right there on the very top part of the star, left and right. There's like these little pieces of fabric that are missing. The prototype looked much better. You can barely even see that, and especially from a distance. It doesn't look battle damaged. So Hot Toys, you dropped the ball there as well. There's no color change really. There's no weathering around it. In the film, he had it pretty much from the time you saw him. And I like that they put that in there, but the detail around it, it just blends into the figure. I mean, I'll back out here a little bit too so you can see. And as you can see, like from a distance, it kind of sucks, man. It might as well not even be there, to tell you the truth. You know, there's just no color transitioning to make it pop at all. You know, make it look like it's weathered, and that's one downfall as far as I'm concerned. It doesn't bother me tremendously, but it, you know, it would have been nicer to have a better look on that. Overall, the front's good. I think some dynamic poses, eventually these might peel, but well, you know, that'll be, you know, yet to see in the future, and time will tell, I guess. But overall, you know, front of the figure's good. The outfit's pretty good. I'll show you the articulation's a little limited, but you know, with this outfit, it was kind of limited on the past ones as well. But hey, what are you gonna do? So that's kind of my gripes initially, and you know, that's kind of really about it, to tell you the truth. You're not gonna really hear me complain about too much else. So let's just rotate him around, give you some 360 shots, and we'll do some articulation after that. All right, so he's gonna rotate around for you there a little bit. As you can see, I'll stay focused on the head a little bit so you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about from the nose. So as you can see, like I said, I think the nose is just a little too thick, man. Just a little too full for him. Especially from the side, you see it a little bit more. And I'll let him rotate around. But in the meantime, we'll, you know, take a look at the back as well. Everything looks good. Like I said, it looks like the outfit from the film, and that's the goal. That's what you want, you know, ultimately, and I think that's what it looks like. So, you know, the boots are sculpted, obviously. They're not actual leather, I don't think. And those are two separate pieces, you know, the shin portion, you know, from the shoe. And as we go back up around here, again, I'll show you the side of his nose, and we kind of missed it there a little bit. I didn't go up in time, but we'll get to it again. But anyway, I think the colors are accurate on the outfit for the most part. I think the suit's just about as dark as it should be. In the film, when you saw him, it actually looked even a little bit darker. You know, so I can't really be sure on a color scale if it's the most accurate, but you know, when it comes to film and then how they shoot, you know, depending on what kind of lighting they're using, you may never really know what the outfit is supposed to be. It's not that you may never know, it's just hard to kind of judge, you know, in the end. So see, as he comes around again, like there it is again. I think that nose, it's a little too full, man. They should have taken some sharper angles to that, but like I said, man, what are you gonna do? This is the finished product. Overall, I think it's pretty good. Love this accessory too, man. This accessory is the shit. Probably gonna keep them with it. The shields are, you know, are not too bad, but overall, I'm liking this though. All right, so you know, that's really about it. Just want to show you some quick 360s of the figure. Belting, everything is pretty good. You know, you get a little bit down here. I feel like you could probably futz around with it, just raise that up a little bit so it doesn't look like it's sagging, you know, the back portion right there. But that's easily fixable. All right, so let's do some articulation and move on. All right, and for you articulation junkies, you know, I better not disappoint. So let's see. Obviously, you get a 360 Reagan exorcist turn of the head. That should be no surprise to anyone. And let's see what we get with the arms here. So you get about right up to there. Now, if you're keeping the arm straight, you're getting about to right there with resistance. You know, probably force it a little bit, but be careful. You know, you're not going to rip seams. You get a pretty good 90-degree bend. Go back a little bit farther too as well. Back, you're going to get actually better than the front, to tell you the truth. But I hope that's not because I'm ripping something. So, not too bad, I guess. Obviously, the same is going to be for the right arm. Get a pretty good lateral raise as well. I think that's pretty good for the most part. What you think? It's not bad. And let's see what we get as far as abduction. Yeah, you want to be careful right there, because look what's going to happen. That's going to pop out, and we don't want that. So, yeah, looking at it now, yeah, we don't want that to happen. So we're going to not bend him over all the way. And like I was saying, you can futz around with the back, and I might as well do that now. That way, because I remember earlier I was saying it looked like it was sagging too low, so it looks like I raised it up just a little bit, so it actually does look a little bit better now. So at least we know we can improve that. So let's see if we're going back. Again, stick about right there because you just don't want to pull out whatever this is attached to down there. I don't know if it's buttoned in or if it's attached to some other how, but you want to be careful you don't jack your stuff up, right? Paid money for this, you don't want to ruin it. Legs. Now let's see what we can get. So right to about there. I mean, you get resistance any higher. You have to get a pretty good bend there. Go back even farther. That's not too bad. These, I'd be careful. There's some spacing in between both sides, so just be careful you don't rip it off on accident. Who knows? Bending the knee eventually might separate it. I don't know. I don't know if you can see that, but you already get kind of some separation from in there. So, like I said, just kind of be careful. So back, you're gonna get right about there. I mean, obviously, you're probably not going to do that too often anyway. These are two separate pieces, like I said. You know, you can full 360 run here, and it's going to be same here. You've got pivot, you know, to the side a little bit, and good to the front and to the back as well. So that's good. It's all articulated. And I think that's pretty much it as far as articulation, man. See, this is why I wish I don't like doing articulation sometimes, because now his back piece is coming out a little bit, which I need to fix. We'll do that in between takes. And as far as leg spread, splits, probably wouldn't really go past right about there. I mean, you're gonna, there's a lot of resistance past that point. You know, I think you also need some, you know, some lateral motion as well, some twisting rather. You know, so you can get them to about right there. And so about right there. But again, I said be careful because you're going to pull back of the fabric. Like I mentioned again, you can see that. That's coming out now just from doing that, from going forward and also from going back side to side as well. So let's be careful. You don't want that to keep popping out. But I'm going to fix that in between takes. So there's your articulation for the articulation junkies. Let's get on to the accessories. All right, so accessory-wise, you get the formidable weapon, which is, as it was described, I don't know if it was actually described, I guess it was described like that in the movie. I mean, that's what at least Hot Toys is calling it as well. I think the detail on it is pretty damn good, as you can see. Hopefully that's coming through. Damn thing's so big, it's probably not even fitting on the whole screen. But like, I think the detail on it is pretty killer. It's not bad at all. And this was previously, Corvus had this, if I remember correctly. So, pretty cool. Here's, you get Proximo Midnight's spear as well. Again, hopefully it's coming in for you as far as detail. Really long as hell. Get this little blue strip right here too. Hopefully that's coming through. Just a little attention to detail there, which was used for that one scene in the movie. I think he can't remember, man. I have to rewatch it again. But I think this was like powered essentially. That's pretty cool. It's nice that they hook you up with this. So you get a lot of stuff. Probably won't pose with too often. This I'm probably not going to use. Got enough limited space in the detail already, so trying to fit this in there as well is going to be a pain. But good detail, especially inside the mouth. It's not bad, not bad at all. Yeah, so obviously the base part sits. Not bad though. Maybe I'm not use it. We'll see. Get the shields. What kind of shields? These, I'm sure people have already done it, but essentially these fan out. A little stiff too, actually. Those fan out a little bit, and then I think one of these is supposed to go back or something. I'm trying to remember. That goes out. So these fan out like that, So that's fully fanned, that pulls out, and then this goes up, basically. So this little piece right here, it's coming through, just goes up like that, I think. I don't think it goes up anymore. I don't want to break the freaking thing. So hopefully that gives you an idea. There's a little bit of weathering on it too. Not sure if it's coming through, but just like a little bit of browning right there. Hopefully that's coming in for you guys. It's not bad detail. I didn't notice the weathering. I'd be careful though putting it on. The instructions obviously similar to previous Captain America's. Put the hand on first. This thing's really stiff. There's no pliability to it, which I think they probably should have done, because shoving the hand, you have to really make sure the hand is open to get it around that. Don't try to just shove it in there, because I can guarantee you, man, people are going to break these. And you're going to be trying to super glue and all kinds of other stupid shit, and it's just going to be a pain in the ass. So just be careful with that, and that's pretty much how this thing works. And then just go back in essentially like that, and you just pop that back in, and there you go. Shield restored for safekeeping. And you get two of them, obviously. So I'm not going to bother showing you the other one. It's the same damn thing, pretty much, just for the other hand. Although the other one doesn't have as much weathering on it. Actually, no, it does. So I'm going to fan this one out too, just to show you. I wasn't going to show you, might as well now. Same weathering on this one as well. Originally I couldn't see it. I didn't see it because I had everything pushed in. But yeah, same weathering, so virtually the same thing. This is the base that you get. It's pretty cool. I like it. I like the graphic on it. It's colorful. It pops. Again, won't be using it. Takes up too much space in the detail, and I usually do about 3 figs per shelf, and just too damn big. But I do like it, man. The color is great on it. It's good graphic. Pops really nicely. And you're obviously going to get some open and closed hands too as well. These are the closed fists. And obviously you get a right and left of that. You get a pointed finger. This is just for the right hand. You don't get another one of those for the left. And you get some open hand as well. You're going to get 2 of those. And you get another variation of an open hand. This one, as I drop it, this one. And that's pretty much it, guys, as far as accessories. Let's move on to one final pose and close out. All right, so here 2 previous Cap releases. As I wanted to show you one pose with him real quick, and I put them side by side just to kind of show you what I was talking about, really about the nose as well. So it's your final pose, with them. Put the shields on them as well, and I'm going to zoom up real quick, and I'm going to show you guys what I'm talking about as far as the nose. So let's get to it. All right, so a little sculpt comparison as far as what I was talking about with the nose. So if you go up and you look at his nose here, right? And then we go over and we look at this nose. You see what I mean about, the nose being, the lines being a little straighter? The nose, is not super thin, but just where the nostrils fan out are not as full, if you know what I mean. So you look at that nose and then you look at this one, they're mistakenly different for me. They're definitely not the same. So I think Yelly did the sculpt on this, and I'm pretty sure K.A. Kim did the face plates for this, and I believe she also did the clean sculpt, unmasked sculpt that came with this as well, which are really good. And Yelly's good, but I think Hot Toys' best sculptor right now is I think the name is Lee So Young, I believe. I think I'm getting the first name right. I'm not sure, but they are really good. They are K.A. Kim level, pretty good. But I do like K.A. Kim more. I know they like to switch between sculptors. Sometimes it makes you wonder why not just use the best sculptor you have. But then maybe it's technique, it's skill level, depending. Hot Toys, Chan and all them must know what they're good at and what they're not good at. I don't know. But this one, like I said, I think the nose is just a little too full, and you get that when you look at it from the side, which I don't have it panning around right now. But I don't know if you can be able to tell, but like one side is a little straighter, and then I think it might be this side. This side's not so bad, but when you go over to the other side, I'm going to try to show you this, but It's going to be difficult because I'm kind of sitting down right now. It's a little fuller on the other side. So I don't know if that's coming through or not, or if you even understand what I'm saying. It's going to be difficult unless I actually move the figure. But you know, if you remember, you want to pan back or rewind back and look at the video, and when I was spinning it around, and then kind of gauge for yourself, you'll kind of get an idea what I'm talking about. But that's all. That's really all I wanted to show you. Both of these figures are awesome. Like I said, the issues that I have with the figure, it's not going to make me sell it or get rid of it. I do like it. The accessories are worth it. They give you more options as far as posing. It's a good set. You know, I probably have to, if I graded it, the whole thing as a set, I'd probably have to give it about a 7.5, maybe 7.5. You know, just because the sculpt for me brings it down a little bit. Sculpt on likeness, I would say is, you know, probably about the same, to tell you the truth. Overall sets a 7.5 to a 7, and the sculpt's about the same as well, I guess. Maybe even a 6.5. I don't know. I hate to drop it down, but I think it's good though. It is good. I might be a little too harsh with the 6.5, but you know, I would say at least a 7. You know, I don't know. I hate rating stuff sometimes. It's a good sculpt though. The likeness is there. You know, is exactly like Chris Evans now. You know, I like this sculpt. I like what Kim did here. You know, I don't have another clean sculpt to compare to right now because that's in storage, but at least you guys get an idea. So I'll give you one last look, you know, up and down, you know, between the figs, kind of what they did. Feet on this one, and then the feet on that. Same boot style, essentially. Just a little differences here and there. That shield, man. Nothing will ever replace the shield, I'm telling you. The Wakanda shields are awesome, but just the cap shield, man, is the shit. I'm actually I gotta bust out my other one. I have the battle damage one, which I like because I don't like the clean looks of suits too much. I like the battle damage ones a lot more. So this one a little too clean for me, but it's still great though. Still a great fig. So that's it, guys. You know, holler at me. You know how to contact me. Comment. You know, like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one. Not sure what it'll be. Probably another horror figure. But all right, guys. Deuces.